Matt Carney, shout out to you. Matt always comes in with thought-provoking questions. Matt says, the need for an object of pure innocence leads us to see traits in others that might not be there. Can we accept a wrestler's full humanity, or do you need to see them as somewhat heroic and angel-like? So, I suppose what you're talking about there is, like, should a babyface just be pure good? And should a heel be pure bad? And actually, it's a very interesting conversation, this, because I do think that modern wrestling is getting a lot more grey than what we've seen before, certainly when it comes to heels, right? But maybe even when it comes to babyfaces. I mean, I think Cody is about as big a pure babyface as you're going to get in the modern world, right? I mean, he's grabbing kids, doing the woe with them at live shows. He's agreeing to go to people's weddings and birthday parties, and do you know what I mean? Like, he's doing hours of meet and greets afterwards. But I can't get past the fact that he beat Kevin Owens by using that chair, which is, you can say, listen, sometimes you have to do that in life. Sometimes in life, you need to maybe do some of the dark arts, if you will, to get to where you need to get to. Maybe the argument is that Cody was too nice throughout his career, and actually when push came to shove, that is why he was never able to secure the championship. And maybe it's a lesson he had to learn, that sometimes you do have to just take opportunities that are presented to you. Might not be opportunities that you've seeked. Might not be that he introduced that chair, but it was there. He was about to do the crossroads. If you go back and look at the footage, he sees it. He looks right at it. He has a decision to make. He could have repositioned, could have kicked it away. He doesn't do any of those things. He delivers the crossroads onto the chair and then secures the 1, 2, 3. So, we've got a babyface there that is operating a little bit more right now in the grey, right? And I think, honestly, him doing that may have contributed to some of the reactions we saw afterwards. Cody, taking that decision. And also, the decision to partner with Roman. But it's interesting because all you hear are OTC chants. So it seems like the vast majority of fans have forgiven Roman. The vast majority of fans, I don't know the percentage, but the vast majority see Roman as a face right now because he gets these massive OTC chants. But it's undeniable there's some out there that feel that he should not have partnered with Roman. It's undeniable there's some out there. Again, I see it very much as the minority, but again, these chants that we saw for Kevin and Cody are the minority. We pointed that out. You can hear them. They're in the distance. It's certainly a percentage of the crowd. I couldn't put a number on it, but to make out it was the whole crowd is factually incorrect. So, it is very interesting when we talk about where is that line, and I believe that line is in a different place for people. I think not everyone is going to have the same answer on this one. I am quite old school. I do like to have my baby faces as baby faces. I like to have my heels as heels. I don't really like to go into this grey area too much because I just think that you're confusing matters. I mean, all you're actually doing is you are taking some of the support that the babyface would have received and you're giving it to the heel. So all you're doing is you're encouraging the crowd to be divided more than they should. There is no reason as to why Kevin should be getting any cheers. He shouldn't be. If you'd have told the story the way that I think it should have been told, you should have made it very, very clear that he is the bad guy in this. You should have made it very clear that he is the heel, that he is the one that's in the wrong. We should be united behind Cody, and, that keeps the babyface strong. It keeps the heel being hated. That's how this game works, right? This is how it's always been. And for someone that, like Triple H, is so old school with his booking and the way that he views wrestling, it is very interesting to see him leaning more into the grey area. I mean, a lot of what Kevin says is understandable. Like, I am not confused why people side with Kevin. People side with him because he says Roman tried to end my career, and now you're siding with him. Like, you're partnering with him. Like, does it not matter what he tried to do to me? He cheated me out of world championships, which would have meant extra money for me and my family, would have meant more accomplishments for me. But because it's me, you're not going to defend me. You're not going to stand up for me. You're going to, partner Roman, because that feels like the right thing to do at the moment. And so you can understand that betrayal. For me, though, it doesn't excuse why Kevin put his hands on Cody after Bad Bloods. I've said in a tweet earlier that I was like, for me, that's the moment the line is crossed. He should never have got physical with Cody. He can have a disagreement and he can be upset with him, but to actually physically attack him, line crossed. And at that point, really, anything he says after that is irrelevant, because you've took this further. You've escalated this. You put your hands on Cody. Up until that point, I was with him. I was listening to what he was saying. I could understand his point of view. But as soon as he attacked Cody after Bad Bloods, then no, you're in the wrong now. You've crossed the line. You know, if I have a falling out with a friend and we have an argument, that's one thing. But if I start beating my friends up, that's going to be a lot harder to come back from. That's going to be a lot harder to forgive. And that's exactly what Kevin did. So I look at it as like Cody's in the right, Kevin's in the wrong, but I do understand where Kevin is coming from. And we saw this with Drew as well. You know, Drew was struggling with everyone loving Jay now that he was out of the bloodline and over on Raw. Drew was like, this is still the guy that's caused us so many problems in the past, and now you're all just like willing to work with him. And again, a lot of people could understand that. A lot of people could understand where Drew was coming from. But, you know, he got bitter and, you know, started attacking Jay and then attacking others, and it spiraled. And for me, a line was crossed and Drew was in the wrong. But there was plenty of people that sided with Drew. There was plenty of people that were like, Drew's the one in the right here. Just like how now you've got a lot of people saying Kevin's in the right, you know. I mean, it was Kevin that flipping introduced a chair in that match and was going to use it. It's only because he didn't get chance that, and Cody did, that Cody used it and he didn't. So again, if he's going to try and play this innocent card, why was the chair in the ring in the first place? It's interesting. Should Cody have used it? I don't think so. Cody had a choice to make. It shows there is a darkness in there. But then do you call it a darkness, or do you call it a ruthlessness of, you know, taking an opportunity when it presents itself? So, yeah, look, we can talk about this till the cows come home. We can go round and round in circles. I think for me, at the end of the day, I like my baby faces being baby faces, being the good guys, being the guys that do things the right way and are good examples for the kids and actually get the crowd united behind them. If you become a bit too goody two-shoes, then the crowd will turn on you, because you just become a bit boring, to be honest. You just become a bit boring. You just become a bit, you know, Super Cena, you know? People got bored of Hogan. People got bored of Cena after, you know, quite a while. It took years. We were nowhere near that stage with Cody. But, yeah, this is where this kind of 50-50 grey area booking has really muddied the waters. And, well, it's given us something to talk about. But I don't know that it massively is helping Cody. I mean, those boos or cheers for KO, or as Cody's being stretchered out, the chance of you deserve it. Like, honestly, I was going to do that as a separate video. I did an unseen, and the first 10 minutes was us talking about that. And I was going to do a separate video, but it was so close to unseen coming out. I was like, I'll just do it as part of unseen. But I do think there's a very interesting conversation to be had. Not so much around the support for Kevin, but more the booking of Triple H and why he feels that he needs to book it this way. It's like Liv. She comes back on her revenge tour because she was put on the shelf by Rhea. Okay, yeah, babyface, okay. Looking for revenge. She ends up taking Dom, taking the Judgment Day, taking the title, breaking Rhea's face, and in the process turning herself heel because she went too far. But you get why she did it. You can understand why she did it. You can understand why she's doing what she's doing. But she has gone so far that she's sort of turned herself heel in the process. But even that, there's people that are, we just watched a clip actually of Charles Robinson. He was talking at the end of a little 11-second clip. Someone yelled to Rhea, you suck, Rhea. I did notice that in that clip. So even Rhea Ripley, who's meant to be like this big badass babyface female, even she's getting a bit of pushback, because I think there are fans out there that get where Liv has come from, that still take Liv's side on this, even with everything that Rhea has lost. They're still like, yeah, well, you did injure her. You did attack her and put her on the shelf for, X amount of months. I think it was a long time, like 10 months, 12 months, So, yeah, an excellent question. Loads to break apart in all of that. I can only wrap it up by saying I like my baby faces being goods and being baby faces and doing the right thing. Not going cheesy or too far or, being cringe, but just, doing the right stuff. And the heels, cutting corners, cheating, berating the fans. And going like that. I mean, can you do that forever? Well, that is where the business has been for a hell of a long time. It is proven to work. I can't see why it would stop working now. But very interesting that Triple H has gone in a different direction, or a slightly different direction.